Here we go.
Hold on, wait.
Let's
Do I
go.
look good?
We're
Do I
live.
look good? Do I look all right?
What's going on, everybody? It is Fight Club. Dude, it's hard to believe that we have been doing this for almost half a year, 6 months.
Yeah,
We got another special guest tonight. We have got Mr. Rich Baker, as long with Mr. Dave RC himself. He just found out about his bind plug on his new DX9, and he's getting that all hooked up. Hope everybody's been having a good week so far. We have been doing this.
yes.
My last 2 days seems like it's been like a week.
More.
It's all the work.
Hey,
Not complaining. I love work. I'm a workaholic. So
hey, look, guys, I want to say thanks to everybody for being here tonight. Tonight's show is Dave's RC, home of the largest giveaways. And
That's right, baby.
Guys, right here.
that giveaway's
yes.
rigged. I want to recount.
I appreciate I won about 3 planes now on Dave's RC's channel, plus a checker. And I just appreciate everything, Dave.
Man, no doubt, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man, I'm just glad to have it. And we wanted to come to you guys tonight and talk about the F-14, unbox this one along with Mr. Baker here, and tell you guys, all the mods that we're going to be doing to this one over time, which will be the mods that Rich and Dustin have designed and developed and come up with, and it just really helps to reinforce this plane, make it a better jet, better plane. And I know Dustin's done some work with the EDFs as well. We've all got the Guniac afterburners that we've got in here, thanks to Ray. We appreciate those. So chime in, guys, anytime. What's up, Rich? How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. So how long have you had that thing now?
I just got it, about 2 weeks ago. Dave shipped it to me, and I've been waiting to get Dave on the show and unbox it and just show him appreciation, man. I've been watching Dave for a long time. Mm-hmm. And Dave has promoted my channel from day one. He has he gives away a plane or several planes every month. I think last month he gave away 2 planes. He puts back to his channel. He always has. I've won a MiG-15. I've won the F-15 up here. I won the F-14. I've won a smart checker. Yeah, and between me and Wreckham Roy, I think we've won everything.
They're cleaning me out, Rich. They're cleaning me out. Between him and Roy.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a couple weeks ago, Dave gave away 2 planes. What did you give away, Dave?
You know what? They haven't decided yet. I haven't heard from them, but Spencer Keith and Kenny, Hangar 51, they both won each $300 each. So whatever they want to put it towards.
That's awesome, man.
Sweet.
Well,
I'm just waiting for my number. My number's like 57.
So that's funny that you guys say that, because me and Eric, we actually ran a little test yesterday. I wanted to see how many times numbers would repeat out of 10. So we ran the wheel 10 times for 40 times, and we only got the thing to repeat twice. So
wow.
And Jeff, your number didn't come up.
Yeah, he's like 61, like 61. Or something.
No, it's number 6, man.
So we had
6. That's right.
We had number 20 repeat. We had number 94 repeat, and that was it. Out of 40 goes, we only had a repeat twice. So.
Okay. Well, I can tell you this: the night that Dave had his 1,000 subscriber giveaway, a lot of guys were throwing in smart checkers, and I won a smart checker as well. And me and Dustin were actually talking on the phone during the show, and I told Dustin, I said, "Man, I will freak out if I win this big giveaway." Dustin's like, "No, man, you ain't gonna win."
Yeah, I was kind of like playing into it a little bit. I'm like, "Yeah, like you'll win, sure, right? Because you already won a plane, sure." And all of a sudden it's like 6. I'm like, "Ain't that number 6?" I'm like,
"Yeah,
you rascal, you rascal." Yeah, wait, didn't you say you'd give me, if you won, you'd give me the soldering iron?
Yes, I did. Matter of fact, I run that from Ray, so you are welcome to it. Actually, if you like it.
Yes, I need a soldering iron.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
I'm breaking.
Yeah, I haven't even opened it
Get
yet.
that man his soldering iron.
I'll take what I can get. My little 30-watt soldering iron. That thing is screaming at me when I'm trying to do an EC5 billet connection on the thing. I'm like sitting there, like, wait for it. Wait, I literally got a stand just so I can sit there and hold it so it holds the soldering iron on there, and I'll like walk away, go make a sandwich, and come back.
Yeah,
You need one of those Weller. I got one of those Weller industrial.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like 200 to 300 watts or something. Yeah.
Hey, look, let me tell you, my favorite. I bought a butane soldering iron from Lowe's.
Oh,
You
really?
fill it, yeah, it's refillable. It's like a pin. You can change tips on it. You can use it as a torch. Let me tell you something, man. That thing will get hot like that fast. You can adjust the heat on it, and you just turn it off when you're done. No cord, no nothing. It is the baddest soldering iron I've ever had.
Who makes it? Who makes it?
Butane.
It's
Who
is it?
It's the people that make. It's the people that make the torches that you have at Home Depot. Brotane. Propane.
Okay.
No,
All right. Yeah. That's good out at the field, man. You don't need to plug it in.
Let me tell you, it is awesome. It is wonderful. And I'm telling you, you get you a can of propane and just refill it as you need to.
Right.
It's incredible, man, and it gets hot like that fast too.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I was going to unbox this plane tonight while you guys are talking, and I'll show things, and y'all can talk about what we're going to do to this thing. I know we're going to be doing some servos in it, the mods, the plates, the nose gear. So y'all have at it, and as I take stuff out, I'll be holding it up, showing it to you guys. So have at it. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm excited. You just get that box open.
Yeah.
Man, get it open. Let's go, man.
Dave, he's just like, man, just screw the small talk. You just rip the box open. I want to see the goods.
Like Christmas, man.
I remember when I first got mine, man. That's they haven't changed the box at all. But that's the same box.
It's like in that Tom Cruise movie. It's like, show me the money.
Yeah.
Smell that new foam smell.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Make that stay up there. Probably
Skip
not.
There
we go.
Burnzamac. That's the name of the company. Skip, thanks
Yes.
for that.
Yes.
It's funny because
Right,
I have like six of their torches. We're men. We don't need manuals.
Yeah.
Unless you're me, I'm like, how much throw is this?
We don't need no stinking manual.
We don't need no stinking manual.
Why'd you crash? Probably because I didn't read the manual.
This thing is huge. It's huge.
Yeah, it's big.
Emphasis
Yeah,
on
Wild
lot.
Bill says he got himself a box today.
I do like Rich's mod that he did with this. This will be a must for these ventral fins guys. I love how you did that, man. Great thought process on that. So if you haven't seen the video that Rich has got, he's got a lot of videos out on this plane, guys.
Yeah.
This is a must do. He did it with the hard points that come with your missiles and stuff that you can slide them on with. Awesome thought process on that one. I love it.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Matter of fact, it took me 2 times to get that right. Like the right one went good, but then the second one, I guess I was just getting not lazy, but like tired in a rush, and I didn't do it quite right. So here's another order to motion. So then I bought 2.
So did you do the upgrade then? Did you?
Yeah, I did it. I did it. But
cool.
you know, like me, I'm like borderline perfectionist, and like, man, I was like, I could do better on this. So I had to order some parts anyway for my Corsair, and so I just went and bought 2 of the bottom vert fins, and then that's when the missile attachment points came back in stock.
Right. The Tom Ellison, one of the Motion owners, I've been talking with those guys for years, ever since they first started, right? But he sent me a message after he saw the video. He's like, man, how the heck did you get those ventral fins on there and stuff? And I said, well, he goes, because I took that cutting wheel. I used a diamond cutting wheel, to cut those slots and stuff.
Right.
And I said, well, my dad, fortunately, my father was a dentist. So actually, it sounds kind of creepy, but in our basement, my father kept an old style dental drill unit. Like a dental. It was basically like a Dremel tool, but it ran with a pulley and all that kind of stuff. So I like had actually when I was a kid, I actually had older, dental tools to use on my hobbies. So I always had precision tools to use that my father kept in the basement. Just he brought home because he would work on other things with it. But I had access to like really nice, precision tools. Right. So basically learned to use a basically like a dental tool, which is basically like a Dremel tool with cutting wheels and stuff. So I kind of got to practice on that stuff kind of early on, which is nice. So,
how's it looking, Jeff?
Well, this is basically a Star Wars fighter, right?
That's what I said. I told you it looked like the Millennium Falcon.
It's like a Star Wars ship here.
Man.
But you gotta love that little bitty battery tray, guys. That's all you get.
That's gone. That's gone.
The finish of this thing is awesome. From what I can see, these are the factory wheels, which I know Rick changed these out as well.
Yeah.
But so far what I can see, this thing's looking awesome, guys. It's a beautiful finish on this thing. So I'll just keep pulling stuff out. And look, give us a roll call, Dustin. And you guys, look, my son is doing a fishing channel on YouTube. It's called Fishing with Laken, Laken.
Oh, cool.
Check him out. He loves fishing. He loves bass fishing. He's catching some nice fish. And he's starting his channel. I've tried to help him some. So you guys get a chance, give him a look, give him a like. Appreciate it. So,
awesome.
Check him out. But so far, this is looking amazing. So let's see. I got to get to the second half of the box now, I think. We do have the little hatch thing here for the top. Let's see.
We got one question. Craig asked, Rich, have you done anything to your 90mm f104 yet?
No, not yet. No, it's actually been sitting there since Null, or whatever, Null in the fall, I think, or whatever. So it's just sitting there. Eventually, I'll revive it and get it going again. So that was a crime because it flew so beautifully.
I was going to say is people probably don't remember when the last Triple Tree event was because it seems like it's been so long now.
Yeah, it's but eventually I'll do a Starfighter. I mean, I really liked the model. It was fantastic. It's just the first flight, it flew perfectly. It flew flawlessly right up until the the horn pulled out of the elevator. Just poor quality control, just not enough glue in that hole, and not enough surface area on the horn. So they really. And then later, guys are like, "Oh yeah, that's a known problem for that plane. They usually put an FMS horn on there." I'm like, "All right, well that's a little bit late, So
right.
Anyway,
let's see. Joseph Youngblood says, "Rich, approximately how long does it take to do all the mods for the F-14?" And I'm assuming he's asking about the wing plates. Because the other mods are just servo replacement for the elevator, then the main gear wheels from the Scorpion.
Right.
And then what's exciting, and I wish I had it here, how unfortunately I had an emergency. Customer needed something now, so I had to put that off. But we're going to now include a nose gear reinforcement part that's going to go along with the plates. Price of the kit does not increase, so that's coming now. And I'll work something out with the people that have already bought these kits, if they want to go ahead and splurge on that as well.
What's it look like? The nose reinforcement, is it like the one I did, or is it like the one that was it Brendan or something?
It's more of a combination with what Brandon did, and it's just sourcing the hardware to do that.
Right.
That's been on my scope to do it, but it's just all a time factor in it. Set down, and so this is actually going to be able to be applied among other free wing and Horizon planes actually. So it's going to be just something that you can put in an envelope and just ship it out that way in it. So that's
You see what mine looks like?
Oh yeah. So what's the
yeah, okay, yeah.
what's
This
the
right
longer
here.
one? Uh-huh.
This right here, front to back. This is like what I did to the F-18, except I just put a front to back because you don't need a huge piece of wood, and then that set screw goes through basically the same place.
I got you.
Where does that screw?
And
Does
then
that go?
this-
does that go underneath to your main gear?
This is and this is the strap
Okay.
that goes to the. And if I put this underneath, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see it now. Okay.
So just like the F-18, you got this screw right here that goes all the way through to that piece of wood.
Right.
And then you've got this tin strap that runs diagonal, or screws into these 4 screws. It goes ahead, it goes up at a diagonal, and it just comes across, the top. It actually comes through a hole that I made here. So you literally use this right here to sort of pull the strap tight, and then you put those 3 screws in. And then this is just to distribute the load. That's why I put all those holes in it, just to lighten it up. That's it. So it's a combination of this and that. You could probably get away with just this. This is just what I thought of first, So the nose gear is tough on this thing now. You can't.
Nice.
You're not gonna really sing it.
Basically, this is your before. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Wait, hang on. Wait a minute. We'll make it perfect here. Look.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
There
super
we go.
clean, man. You did a really good job on that, Rich. It looks super clean.
It's no thanks. Yeah, it's I'm just always the thing is I don't really want to make any changes to any of these darn planes, but it's just when I find a need for it, because I'm trying to make this so more guys can fly it off of grass. You know what I mean? Because that's most of us fly off of grass. Most of us don't fly off of pavement. So just trying to get it so more people can do it.
Yeah. So Joseph, why? I have never carved into a plane really before. And the F-14, I want to say it took me probably about an hour and a half to about 2 hours. And I was going slow because it was my first time really carving into the plane. Of course, I didn't want to mess anything up. But I'd say it took about 2 hours because you need like the wood plate that goes behind the gear block. The plastic gear block, you want to glue that in and let it sit and let it cure. Of course over like a day, right? You start at night, get those wood pieces glued in, and the next day you can finish everything up. It's typically how I tell people to do it, just to make sure that glue is nice and cured. Foam tack, epoxy, what have you, whatever your favorite glue is.
Yeah, Jeff, that's super clean, man. That looks really nice coming out of that box.
So what have you done to yours, Dave? I know you've flown it before, right?
I've only flown it once, man. I flew it once, and when I went around probably about 4 circuits and realized that I probably shouldn't have been flying it at that time. I wasn't used to something that big. It felt kind of different to me. Well, obviously, I'd only been flying 64 millimeter jets up until I got this one. Oh, and the 262. So no, I really didn't do much to it at all, except for a little bit of carbon fiber stripping right here, just to hold the nose and the back end together a little bit. That's it.
Well, and another thing, guys, that we were talking about earlier tonight, Dave was pointing out that the nose of his, he can move it, whereas that's another reason for the battery tray that Rich and Dustin have come up with.
Yeah. And that's when I first got out of the box and I started to assemble it, I was like, people are laying and I saw the RC Geeks battery, the way he shoved it in the back, and that was awesome. But I'm like, man, why are we even fooling around with 2 floors? Why not just put one? It'll structurally join the whole thing together. In fact, if you wanted to line the sidewalls on the inside with like a super light or thin ply, like even 1/64, it would really make it tough. But it only needs to be so tough. We're with that battery floor, it's plenty strong with that. You really don't. If you're landing it hard enough to break that, you probably need to go back to a trainer or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
So because that floor, biggest purpose of it was to join the 2 halves together.
Right.
All you got is, you saw the contact area. It's just 2 like U shapes that kind of stick together. You got
Yep.
those 2 carbon robs, but
And
there's
that's
not
it.
a lot of surface there. So
No.
having a hard floor. In fact, Dave, does yours have the 2 floors in it?
So here's what I did. I actually okay, so
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly that,
I didn't
yeah.
like the idea. I didn't like the idea of the upper deck. So I actually
Right.
took my floor.
Yeah.
Let me see my camera here. I actually took my floor, unscrewed it from the
Yeah.
top, and dropped it.
Yeah, and that's fine. That works fine. That's basically what I did. I just made them into one piece.
And I can
So-
see how that would make it a lot more. Yeah, because if
Yeah.
this was one piece, one solid piece, oh my
Yeah.
God, that would be amazing.
Yeah. And that was
That'd be amazing.
And that was the point. And in fact, what you have right there, depending on how well it's glued in, that front battery floor, that pried right out of there. So
Yeah.
I don't know how well you glued in the back floor, but depending on how well it's glued in, you could probably pry both of those up.
I just shoved it down in there.
Okay.
I can actually pull it out. See?
See, you can take both of them. Then you can take both of those floors out of there and get a tray from Dustin or make one yourself. I got a lot of guys that watch my video. They just make their own. You know, they have the tools, and you can slide it. You can literally take that long tray.
Yeah.
And you can slide it right back into here, and you can glue it in. You got to cut a little back there, but you can get the whole. So you can still put that one-piece floor in yours right now.
Awesome, dude. Yeah. Dustin's gonna be sending me a kit here once he gets restocked, and I'm gonna do the whole modification.
Yeah.
What wheels did you say you used for the back, Rich? Did you say Super Scorpion wheels?
Yeah, the FMS Super Scorpion and the FMS A10. They use the same main wheel. The nose wheels are the same. Okay. The nose wheels are the stock Freewing wheel because they're really pretty good actually. So.
Okay. Awesome.
In fact, they have. I don't know. I think they got a brass. They may have a brass bushing in them. I don't know. But they're good wheels though, so you don't really need to do anything with that.
I'm excited. I'm excited about getting these mods done though, man. I really am.
Yeah, me too. I want to get this stuff done too as well. The finish on this thing, though, from what I can tell, I mean, the finish is awesome. It looks incredible.
Nice.
Especially for as old as this plane is.
Yeah.
And Rich, so the community knows what. Can you just go over what type of servos did you put in the back end of the F-14? What was your decision that you went?
Yeah, the D85s. In fact, I watched another guy put them in there. I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been Brendan, you know, the Just Plain Crazy guy, or what is it, the Plain Crazy?
Yeah, Plain Crazy. Yeah.
I saw that he put those in there, and I had just bought the previous version of that servo, which was named something else. But they just remade them into, like I said, they're a 4096 or 4098 something resolution, so they're 4 times 1024 resolution, and the torque on them, I think 5 volts of torque is like, or 5 volts, I think it's like 50 ounces or something. So they're pretty strong.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
They're way better than the stock servos. So and Motion really ought to change those tail servos like they did with the F-18. Same tail servos, same horns, you know. So, but you got to use the Dubro super strength horns as well.
The horn. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And again, just so everybody knows, we kind of talked about this before, but if you go to my Freewing F-18 upgrade video, all the links are below that. That's where I should have put them in the Tom. I'll probably go back and put them in there, but the Freewing F-18 upgrade video I made, all the links are below for the servos and the horns. I use the same for both airplanes. So they're the 675 Dubro super strength horns for high-tech servos. So, and they fit perfectly. So,
now you also did some mods to your Sukhoi up there. What was the mods that you felt necessary on the Sukhoi?
Oh, actually, I did really no mod to it until recently. Actually that plane's awesome stock. But the problem I was having with mine the other day was that you know when you put the battery in, you wrap the strap around it, the Velcro strap, and then you for me anyway, I slide the strap through the hole.
Yeah.
My strap's glued in place.
Oh man.
I couldn't slide the strap, and the problem was every time I strapped it down, what happened was the buckle, you know, the plastic buckle,
Right.
it would wrap itself around the corner of the LiPo.
Yeah.
And I couldn't move it, so when I'm pulling, it's kind of denting up my battery. So I'm like, all right.
Okay.
So I started pulling the floor out. Here's the floor. I started pulling it out, and it just came apart. It was just breaking. So I did. Here it is. Here.
I love that plane.
Yeah, it's awesome. But this plane doesn't need anything. And then here, let me pull this out of here. So what I did is kind of what I did with my other planes.
Oh, look at this.
Is I made it almost the same. My desk is moving on me. I made it pretty much the same. I copied it, but I added a third strap. Okay, right here, and I put the holes through there so you can feed the straps through. That's what the hole is. You feed the strap through. You can use a hobby knife and kind of otherwise without the hole you can't get a new strap.
Feed it through. Yeah, right.
I bet money Horizon will probably start doing that on some of the paints out because it helps having that darn hole. But anyway. And the thing is I secure my batteries, as you guys know, mostly with shelf liner, this stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing that too. Yeah, doing that as well.
I think if you're using Velcro to secure your battery, you're good with one strap holding the battery.
Yeah.
But if you're using shelf liner, like I use, just personal preference, I just feel like one strap's not enough.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So I put the third one in there, so whether you have your battery all the way at the back or whether you have it all the way at the front, you now got two straps.
You got two straps. Right. Okay. Yeah.
But this plane, the Sukhoi stock, it's fine. If you want to use the Velcro, one strap, it's two straps on, one strap per bat, whatever, you're probably okay. But I found with the stock floor, if I had the battery all the way back and I was using that 7,000, actually even the 5,000, I think I can only get one strap around the battery. Like it really needed another one in the middle. So
right.
So, and with Velcro, that's fine, but with shelf liner, it's kind of not, So, so anyway, that's about to go in there,
That looks nice, Rich. I like that. I'm gonna kind of maybe copy that idea a little bit. That looks good.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna copy it too if I can ever get this one out of the box.
Well, the thing is, when I'm making this stuff, guys, I'm never really making any of this stuff for profit. There's no intent to make money with this. This is just to kind of better the hobby and help people to just show them what I'm doing. And if you want to copy it or make it, and then Dustin, when I met Dustin's like, hey, I can make all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, some guys don't have the tools, to do all this. And he's like, well, heck, I'll make them. And I said, okay, great. So that's kind of how we've been doing this, and then he and I will talk and sometimes make design changes or whatever, I was trying to make it better for everybody that wants to do it. And, so.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, man, you got a big following on YouTube, and I know the community absolutely loves you for that reason, man. I don't know. I can tell you I have several mods that you've done. I just put together that LX Packpaw, and I pretty much followed you like to the T on that thing, man. Yeah.
So we got a question from David Snyder, like, will this make the F-14 handle grass? And yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I've got a brutal landing video on my channel. Raven Rock Machine Aviation.
Yes, he does.
So the short and the long of that is I busted the nose gear servo in the pin, and that was proving out Brandon's concept. And I kind of took that a step further. While it's somewhat of the same design, it's different hardware, different plate system in it. They got some commonalities to it, no doubt. And the main gear, I cracked the left servo. I cracked one of the servos and bit the pin on it as well. Like it was ugly. The guys at the field, they kind of did the whole the Friday scene with Ice Cube when they're like, ooh, when it happened. And when I brought it back, and we're starting looking at the foam, I'm like, excuse my language, I'm like, shit, this works.
Yeah.
It works good.
Now, are you talking about the plastic retract unit itself, bro?
Yeah, the actual black.
Okay.
It just snapped. And that's a weak point because they've got that slit in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Versus
now, did you break that real quick? Did you break that with the gear plates in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the thing. The advantage to that is that, you want the landing gear to take the load. So, if the landing gear isn't flexing any, which this isn't, they compress. Mm-hmm. The next thing that you want to break, actually, strangely enough, is that retract unit because you can replace that. And you know you know full well without the plate in there, that whole thing bends back. So you're not going to break your retract unit. You're going to ruin your whole fuselage, and it's going to bite up into the swing wing mechanism.
Right.
So the purpose of the plate is to allow to transfer the load from, instead of the fuselage, it transfers the load. What's that?
Show them the plate as you're describing it.
Oh yeah. The idea of this is it transfers the load to this plate because it sits underneath here, and then it transfers it from the fuselage, which is here, because they only have that thing mounted in foam. It only secures to these like 2 screws, and then it hangs off the back end. I should have got that piece to show here, but this makes sure that your load is absorbed by your landing gear, which is where it's supposed to be absorbed by. So hopefully the compression is enough, but if it's not, like you said, the next thing that's going to break is either the landing gear electric unit or the plastic mount. And the thing is you can replace those, you know. But once you start twisting up your fuselage, then you really run into, like I said, I found that it was bending up, like right here. It was like the whole fuselage was bending up, and the swing wing goes right over this plate.
Right.
So if this is not perfectly flat, your swing wing is biting into that. So anyway, to save the fuselage, you just need something tough, you know. So that's kind of why we did this. If I was going to redesign it, I'd do the whole thing a little bit differently. But that plate does, I mean, this thing does solve the problem. I mean, so.
Have you got, yours is in your jet. Can you pop the top off of yours?
I can't wait to get those, Dustin. I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I mean, I've got them in stock, like kits ready to go.
Okay.
Here, let me plug. I should have grabbed one of the stock plates for this, but I wasn't thinking about it. Here, let's see.
Well, the aftermarket plate is you can show kind of an idea of the cutoff in the addition to it as well.
Right here, Dustin. I'll show you mine while he's. Let me take these screws out of mine. Hold up, just a second.
Here, let's see.
What's up, Juniac? Mr. Ray Ray.
What's up, Larry Booty?
Yeah, and the thing about guys that have the F-14, you want to make darn well sure that the wings don't interfere with the fuse at all, because that is how you can get the wing sweep servo to burn out, because that's an extra load that it's having to overcome. Yeah. I even took some sandpaper and sanded mine down in some areas just to make sure.
Oh, look at that, Rich. That looks nice, man. That looks good.
So that's the plate coming here. Of course, mine has the cross member going through here. Hang on a second. Let me check this wire here. Yeah, I got the whole cross member that goes across here, which we eliminated. We got rid of that. It looked like this is what it looks like in mine.
Okay.
And then this is what me and Dustin made this little change, because we realized we really didn't need that cross member in there. We're using the existing carbon rod that's under there, and it makes it a lot easier to install without that tab. So you just don't need all that. I over-engineered it a little bit, you know. So, but I think it's a lot easier for everybody this way to do it, you know. But then I just painted a little bit here, you know. I painted this part gray, and then Dustin put a couple of holes in it. Just here, let me see. Dustin put a few holes in it here to lighten it up a little bit. So, you know, just get rid of a little bit of weight. So, and it doesn't really weigh that much more. I mean, it's just a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I'll have guys ask me, like, what's the weight penalty for it? And I was like, well, on the maiden with the video, the link that I just dropped, and here I'll drop it again. I had the plates, the high-tech servos, so the digital 85s, the Budiak afterburners in it, 2 5000s flying off of grass. What else was there? Seems like I'm missing something.
See, and if you paint
it was heavy. I mean, it was the heaviest it would be.
If you paint it, you can't even see it. It's right here, and actually you can see kind of right here this scraping right there. That's when the wing mechanism is coming back. It scrapes a little bit. It's going to scrape some.
Yeah.
But these are your front landing gear screws right there where the gear goes in, and so the gear is all back here. So what happens is when it bends, it would bend on those 2 screws and it would come up right here. This is the place where it would stick up. So you see there's no space here, and this is where your swing wing gets in the way. But your whole fuselage would get dinged and it would get damaged here, even just from one bad landing, or even if you attempted to take off on grass, you're going to bend it. It really couldn't handle grass load. The landing gear on this plane is good. I mean, the landing gear, the struts, I mean, they're tough. I mean, guys have said the landing gear's not so good on this plane. It's like, no, the gear is good. It's the mounting that was not so great, you know, the problem we were having. But this solves it. Like I said, this is tough. You can do some good carrier landings with this now. You know, you can pound it in pretty good if you want. And then of course we got the extra piece of wood that goes in here that I mounted there.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Oh, yeah.
And then there's a single screw right here that goes into it with a blind nut. And then here, let's see. Yeah, Dustin, I lost your darn. Where's that darn? I had the screw pack here a second ago. Where'd that go?
Like one screw wants to be a pain in the butt.
What's that?
It's like one screw in here wants to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Where's the yeah, figures.
Trying to show the
here's Dustin. Sorry about that. Here's Dustin's
okay, there we go.
made in the USA screw pack that comes with it.
Baby.
So you got a blind nut that'll go underneath, you know, and then by gluing this thing in, foam tack or epoxy, it basically takes all this very thin foam. Because if you look down here, there's foam here is really thin. I mean,
there's only like 3 sections of foam, like 3 pieces that get glued together in that area, if I remember right.
Yeah. So you're basically taking this, and you're basically making an I-beam out of it. You're burying that down in there and gluing it. And then this single screw basically makes this whole thing one. It basically makes like a T-beam, like an I-beam or a T-beam, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And so this whole area is tough. Now there's some structure to it. So, anyway.
This is your before, guys, right here. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the rear screw that Rich is pointing to, that's in gray, you know, that is just there just to hold the rear end of that plate system down. I've had a few guys try to bear down on it, asking like for torque specs, and that's all it is. It's just to keep that rear of that plate down.
Yeah, you don't need it tight. You don't need it tight at all. Just tighten it so it gets, you know, basically almost finger tight, and maybe a little more. But yeah, it's just
to throw maybe some CA in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use foam tack as like a thread locker because it gives you some flexibility.
Yeah.
And then the thing is this entire section right here, which is this. Where is it here? This thing. The landing gear mounts, you know, again right under. See if I can get this right. The landing gear mounts like from here to here. So you've got all of this distance right here that actually this whole thing can kind of act like a leaf spring. It can actually flex, this plate will flex a little bit. If you made a hard landing, it'll bend a tiny bit, not a lot, but enough that if you were to bend this, you're probably going to break your gear first, but it probably will flex a tiny, tiny bit. So, but anyway, it keeps it from bending up right here. Where it's going to, it'll ruin your fuselage if that happens, you know. So that's why we got the plate in there. So, anyway, but
Jeff, I remember when I first got mine, man. That control board that's sitting there on the top.
Yeah,
it's got the white sheet on it, tells you everything on it. Yeah, man, mine was fried.
Really? Yeah. Right here?
Yeah, when I first got my F-14, that white, right there, that whole white control board, the whole thing was fried. Nothing worked, man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they sent me a new one, and the thing worked immediately once I plugged it in.
Okay.
Oh. Wow.
Now another thing here too is the way I have this receiver, it's countersunk. I got one antenna here, just Scotch tape, one here, Scotch tape, and then this bar is not going to be on, you know, the new mod. So this receiver can actually go more farther forward if you want. I put it here because I had this damn bar in the way, you know. Yeah. That was the issue I had. That's why I put it here. But I still would keep it back here somewhere, you know, but you just have
But you also used shorter leads too, did Rich?
Yeah. I mean, all these are short. You know, those go in there direct and it's pretty neat and clean. It looks like a lot of wires, but it's really not.
Yeah, and you also have the Castle BEC in there as well.
Yeah, that's the Castle BC 20 amp right there. I put it there because, you know, some airflow will get back there a little bit and cool it down.
Yeah.
You know, you want the louvers up.
Dustin was
And then
telling me
here's
that.
Guniac's light controller for the burners. That's
Right.
just attached with Velcro, you know,
Yeah.
right there. So, and this is all in the air. So air comes over this, you know, the deck, and it pulls air out of here. So, you know, air circulates through this whole thing. So
Right.
it's nice. So anyway, but yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
You know, everything in here, I mean, it's amazing how nice it looks anyway, you know, as is. But this mod you guys have designed and come up with looks really nice. So I can't wait to get it in there.
Close that up. But you can see how tight this thing,
Yeah,
how
that's
tight
great.
this is right here. So, you know, when you extend that out, it has to go over that. And if this whole thing's getting bent, you're not going to be able to swing the wing, and your fuselage just gets wrecked over here. So,
Yeah.
but not with the plates. Now, if I was at the factory and I wanted to do this from the factory, you know, we have this plastic piece right here. This is the block, right? This is the landing gear mount. What I would have done if I was at the factory is I would have made this piece right here about 4 inches long. I would have brought it back to here. If they molded this piece, and I told this to Alpha, if they molded this piece in a long, maybe 6-inch long piece almost, it basically would extend this plastic load all the way back here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you might not need that plate. You know? So I gave them a whole bunch of ideas, things like that to that. But again, to retool and make this plastic part, and then to retool the fuselage, so you know you've got more, you know, a bigger piece here. You have to retool the plastic, you have to retool the foam. So you know you're looking at thousands and thousands of dollars, maybe even in the tens of thousands, just to make little tooling changes like this. So.
Right.
So when it comes to that, they have to say, okay, do we think we can recoup all that cost? You know, are we going to sell enough enough of them to justify the cost of changing this? And then if they wanted to put the plates in there at the factory, like if they wanted to just make a bigger plate like we made, they would have to tool that. They would also have to tool this recessed area into the foam mold. So they'd have to change the foam mold as well. So if they do all that, they could do it. It's just that, and that's why it's not like they don't want to do this kind of thing. It's just that you're probably looking at, like, you know, I'd say maybe 5, 10, 15 grand or something to retool an upgrade. So retooling costs for these things are really expensive. So they just got to look at it and say, do we think we'll recoup that or not? Is it worth retooling it? And then also they're building other planes at the same time. But I would have loved to have seen this piece bigger. You know what I mean? I would have loved to have seen that longer, because it's all the drag. It's all the drag going backwards from grass, you know, that pulls back on this thing. And then there's not enough surface here. It only goes like a half an inch back. So it really needed to come back here. And then, and I think that plastic piece might have solved the whole thing. But, you know, who knows? But who knows? You never know. Maybe they'll make a change. If this plane if it has a resurgence. I mean, people are still buying them. I mean, they still buy these
They're
things.
good sellers.
Yeah.
Right here.
Jeff's got one.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you something else too that I like that Chris did, RC Geek. He came in here and filled in this area right here with balsa, so it kind of covers up this wheel a little bit more. And I really like that. I thought that looked really nice as well.
Wait,
when
what?
the wheels are up.
What did he do? What did he do?
He came in here once your wheels are up like this one is, and he made a piece to go from here to here that closes in this area.
Yeah, try
So
to
that-
hide it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
You don't see so much of the wheel. It closes in this area right here.
You want? You know what the answer to that is?
What's that?
Hey, doors.
Oh yeah.
Because this, and that's the interesting thing is I've been speculating. This is just me talking. I have no inside information or anything, but this airplane is almost identical to a Tomcat. The way that the landing gear, the wing, the two nacelles, you know, the fuselage. So I'm thinking, man, wouldn't it be nice if Horizon did a Tomcat? You know, a twin 70 millimeter. I mean, they already got the landing gear. They got the landing gear and the doors figured out already. The nose strut is, I mean, it's almost the same as a Tomcat. All they would have to do is just do the fuselage. The only other thing I'd like to see really is either at Motion or wherever is just to have the programming for the wing, because the big problem is here when you extend the wings. Here's how mine works. Mine works, ailerons and elevators. In fact, this is high rate on everything. This is how I actually normally fly the airplane, with the wings extended. So when I retract the wings, this is where the problem is. Let me see if I can get here. Is that you have all of this, you have airflow disruption big time. Okay. So you've got all the airflow coming off this aileron, which is not supposed to be moving, and it's disrupting the air over the tail every time you move it. So, but what you have to do, regardless, is that you've got to go to a low aileron rate. So, here's high rates. In fact, here's high rates, what they look like, and here's what happens if I go to low.
Wow, look at that. That's the way I have mine set, Rich, just like that. I have them real low.
So if you have a high rate, first of all, if you swing if you were to swing the wings back and have this kind of a rate, as soon as you touch the stick, it's going to roll over on its back and go in the ground. You're just not going to. You have to have a low aileron rate. So when you're flying in a straight line and you're using your ailerons, you're only moving it this much. You see, they don't move much. So the idea is that if you're flying this stock configuration and you have the ailerons and the tails moving together, you're only going to want to move it this much. If you start moving your stick too much, you're going to cause more airflow disruption. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So consciously, when I swing the wings back, right before I swing the wings back, I go to the low rate.
You go low rate.
And it flies great in low rate, too. I mean, it's fine, even with the wings extended. But then when you retract the wings back, you're really mostly going in a straight line. You're not doing too much maneuvering with the wings back. So you notice with just a little bit of movement, you're not really disrupting a lot of airflow. You don't need to move the sticks. You don't need to move the sticks very much. Now, I had an actual conversation with Alpha via WeChat, I don't know, about a year ago or something about this thing. And the reason he did it this way, because it gets expensive when you get into mixing, and it gets complex when you get into mixing sometimes. I don't think it'd be that hard. But he was trying to make this really simple for everybody. So you didn't really have to do too many crazy things to it. You know what I mean? He was intending for everybody just to plug this in 6-channel and go, Unfortunately, an F-14 is not a simple airplane. It's not a very basic model. But so by turning the ailerons off like the RC Geek does, if you can visualize the ailerons not moving, all you're getting is tail. And you still need to lower the rate. You still need to lower the
even with the real F-14, the test pilot, they had a really nasty crash with one of the A models there. The first prototypes, they had a really nasty crash because of some weird stuff going on with the aircraft.
Yeah, and but the key is for everybody to know you can fly this plane stock with 6 channels or 7 channels, whatever you want to call it, with these things moving together. It's just that you have to be sure that before you sweep the wings back, go to a low rate, and then when you're in a straight line zooming along, you don't want to move your ailerons very much. If you're not moving them much, this is just aileron control. This is, of course, when you're moving elevator, you don't have any disruption at all.
Right.
So if you limit most of your maneuvering with the wings swept to pitching instead of rolling, you're not going to have any disruption at all. And then when you do roll, you're only moving it a little bit. You're only moving it a tiny amount. So, and then the way I got mine set up, if you look down at the rods and horns, just like we were talking about the Dubro. Shoot, let me see if I can get this closer. Hang on a second. These are the Dubro horns, those super strength horns.
Yeah.
I think I've got those. Do I have those on the middle hole? Yeah, I think I've got them on the middle hole. And I did that because you don't really need. I mean, you don't need a lot of movement in the tails on this thing, but in fact, I'm even trying. Actually, you know what? Let me look at my. In fact, let me look at my radio. Here's my. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's glaring a bit. Let me see if I can get in on this thing. Let me see what I have set up for my.
So check this out, guys. While Rich is doing that, look, for all you gyro heads out there, guys, I'll show you how I have mine set up real quick. And I kind of took my time with it. I didn't want such a rat's nest here, and I actually got the wires curled around. I have zip ties on them and everything. But as you can see right here where the control board is, this is the white control board right here. The white control board, what I did was I just notched out a little bit of foam, and I countersunk my receiver in.
Yeah.
Right there where the white board is. So it's not touching anything. It's not interfering with anything. And then up here, as you can see, I got that free wing. Oh, it's a free wing gyro. I'm sorry, it's not a Hobby Eagle. That's a free wing gyro. So it's got a free wing gyro right there. And I was able to put that in without having any interruptions, guys. So, I mean, everything, you can get everything to fit in here really nicely, you guys. The wires are very intimidating at first, especially if you're going to run a gyro, because that just adds more wires.
Yeah.
But it looks intimidating at first, but once you get everything plugged in, you can really get these in a nice, neat area here and close everything up, make it look nice.
Yeah. No, that looks good. That looks good.
Wouldn't this thing do well, Rich, with a 9-channel AS3X if you wanted to have the Spectrum
Right.
AS3X system in it?
I'm sorry. Say that again. What's that now?
I said, wouldn't this plane perform well with a 9-channel Spectrum AS3X?
Oh yeah. Not a problem at all. Yeah. No problem at all. But what I was getting at with this thing though is that you can see I'm at 125% travel. Okay, that's with my high rate. Man, my damn desk is moving on me again. My electric desk here, I pushed the button by mistake, my bad. But 125% travel is where I normally fly this plane. But again, I'm on the middle hole.
Which probably brings
so 125% travel gives me plenty, and this is 125 right here. You can see that. And then on low rate, when I hit the switch and go down to low rate, and my light just turned off. When I go to low rate, you can see here I'm at 50% travel.
Wow. Yeah.
So you can see how much. Sorry about that. You can see how much it moved. That's the pitch. Oh, I take that back. That's the pitch. Actually, I never used pitch. My bad. This is the travel in high rate roll. This is the travel in low rate roll. You don't want it moving much. In fact, I think the RC Geek was showing, you don't want your leading edge moving any more than a ½ an inch up or ½ an inch down, roughly. So it doesn't really, the leading edge doesn't move too much in the low rate. But you can see I'm at 50% right there. So for low. So and 125 for high. So, and that gives you tons and tons of resolution and gives you lots of torque. The farther you go in on that hole, the more torque the torquier it's going to be. And the smoother the resolution is going to be. The farther out you go on it, the less torque and the less resolution. Then you're going to have to dial it way back to maybe 30% or something. So that's why I use that particular hole and all that stuff. What's up, babe?
Are your throws set per the manual here, Rich?
I think pretty much, yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly where they are. It's my girlfriend Amy's looking for the label maker. Hang on a sec. Here, open that drawer. Go to where the black drawers are right there. Okay. And sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good.
She needs. I'm directing her to my tool.
Hey,
you see it there? You got it? Okay, you're good to go. All right. Say hi, Amy.
Hi.
She said hi.
Hey, Amy.
She's in her nightgown. I can't show that.
Yeah, that's what my wife's doing right now too. So yeah, if she comes through the curtain, she'll holler at me first, so that I turn the camera.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's how I got mine set up. I don't have any. As you can see there, I've got no expo in anything. That's just my preferred way to fly. So.
Yeah, they're showing 100% high rate elevator would be 34 millimeters up or down.
Yeah.
And low rate would be 24 millimeter at 65%.
What hole? Go to the page where it shows you the hole that they want the elevator horn to be in.
All right.
Because remember, I changed my horn too, so I don't know how the distance from the hole to the center of the servo compares to the stock one. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
And I think I went in. I think I went in a bit from where the stock hole is,
Let's see.
and then just
Mine's on the
dialed my
outside hole,
travel
Jeff.
upwards. So
And I think I set mine up by the book, and I believe mine's on the outside hole.
yeah. See, and when it's on the outside hole, this 50% you see right here.
Right.
I had to go lower. I had to go down to like 30 or something ridiculous like that.
That's scary. That's
You know,
scary.
And then you've got no resolution on the servo. You know what I mean? The control
Right.
just doesn't feel good. So, if you want to really feel the airplane a little better, I had to go, just to get this at 50%, I had to go way in on the hole. I'd have to measure the millimeters from the center out. I'd have to see what that is. I don't know exactly there it is.
So
I don't
the
know exactly
hole,
what it
so
is, but-
the elevator pushrod mounting hole on the horn on the servo is the third hole from the actual servo itself.
Yeah, and he's talking about the horn that comes with the stock servo in the manual.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the
And
stock
it
horn
was-
is the third hole. It's the hole in the middle. Put it that way, because you've got
Yeah,
five.
this
You got
is-
5 holes, and it's the one in the middle.
Right. And I don't know,
Oh, okay.
I don't
So I
remember I don't remember how that translates to this horn,
Mhm.
but I get the feeling, if I remember correctly, that was a little bit farther out than this one.
I'm not.
It does stick out. Yes, Rich, it does. I'm looking at the stock one now. It definitely sticks out further than that Dubro one does.
So
Man.
you can
Boozer.
you can look at the distance from the sidewall here, right here, to how far out it comes to the pin. It's not very far. So if yours looks like it's farther out, then that's what it. So and again, I'm at 50% and I'm flying mine, low rate with great control. So and I remember with that stock horn, I either needed to come in a hole or and then
Okay,
dial
so-
the rate back up or stay there and dial the
Here
rate.
you are right here. There's your elevator push rod. Is what they're showing. If you can see that.
Let me see.
Okay,
where's
so middle hole.
That's
It just
the,
says
that's
middle-
the rudder.
yeah.
You're on page. It's on page 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
what is that? That's 3.
Get your glasses on, homie.
Ah,
Here, man. I got these.
There you
okay, all right.
go.
Elevator,
Which is-
elevator. Here
which
we
is-
go. Here we go. Yeah.
What
Okay,
does that say?
Right in here.
What does it say? Is it
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That's also the middle hole.
does it show the middle? Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 up, and then 2 in front. So yeah, middle hole. So
Okay.
probably
okay.
about right where you have yours at, Rich. Now.
Yeah. And again, I don't know. I'd have to measure. So you'd have to measure the stock horn from the middle, from the center of the servo to that hole, and then compare it to this one. But I think I came in a little bit. I think I came in like a hole, or mine's closer than the stock servo. And then I just, like I said, I rolled this up right here to 125%. So I get at full travel, I get full resolution out of the servo. I get this is I think about what the stock setup. This is full movement. So and then this is roll full movement, and then that's down. This is 50% travel right here. So and that's all you need for roll control. You don't want to change you don't want to one thing you want for sure before you sweep the wings back. You only want to go to a low aileron rate, not a low elevator rate. You still want the elevator rate to be reasonably high. So at least that's how I found mine flies well at. So, but it's the roll you need to be concerned with. If you don't go to a low rate before you roll the plane, before you sweep the wings back, the plane will roll over on its back quick. I mean, it's very sensitive in roll with the wings swept back. So. But anyway, the big point I want to get across is that you can fly at stock like this. You don't have to. It's preferred to not have the ailerons moving. So if you want to dial that program in, by all means do it. But if you fly at stock with them moving together, you can see in low rate they're not moving much. That it's not disturbing the airflow too much that it bothers it. And that was Alpha's point. Just trying to make it simple for everybody. So everybody didn't have to deal with too complex of a mixing system. You could just plug in 6 channels or 7 aileron, elevator, rudder, throttle here. But I would have preferred that they put some kind of mixing in there, or said, hey guys, you got to have a Spectrum radio with 9 channels and or something, and then but they didn't want to make it dependent upon that. Then they have to give you a program for it and all. That's why everybody's using the RC Geek system, because it does work well. So
So Dave, you want to drop the hammer, because Barry Boozer keeps telling you to drop the hammer.
Yeah, I know. I just told him. I said I promised Jeff's wife I'd be on my best behavior.
Barry Boozer keeps pushing it.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
Dave.
I'm trying to be good here. We don't want to get demonetized. Shit.
Oh, there you go. There's the first one tonight from Dave. Watch out the S word. You gotta take what you can get. Beggars can't be choosers.
That's right. Hey, hit me up Friday, Wes.
Look, hey, it's gonna be more this week, because he's been holding it all in all show.
Yeah.
And after.
I'm gonna go off, man. I'm gonna go ape shit on Friday. You gotta be there.
Hey, but didn't y'all see the deep thought side of Dave in that picture that my wife did? I mean, wasn't that not a
she did such a great job on that picture, man. I'm actually gonna get it put on the wall, man. That looks really good.
I saw that, and I'm like, this is the side of Dave I've never seen before.
Yeah, that was like right when I first got him, you guys. We took him to the vet, and that was on the way back from the vet. So he just got shots done, and he was real tired. So he just fell asleep on my shoulder.
Funny story is this. I told Dave last night, I said, all right, I need a picture of you to put in with mine and Dustin's picture on the Flight Club. And, I'm knowing Dave, I'm either like, some shit, like he always does. And I get this picture from him, and it's this sweet, looks like something ought to be on the front of a Hallmark card. I said, who is this guy, man? I mean, what is he doing? I'm like, oh my God, man, where's this coming from?
Yeah, it's like, man, I've seen this Hallmark movie before. I can't pinpoint it, but I've seen it.
So if you guys aren't sure about what the thoughts with Dave or it's an old Saturday Night Live thing. It's like something Hackett or what's his name?
It's Deep Thoughts with Jack Hansen.
Jack Hansen. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man. It's kind of funny, man. And the one that I watched this morning, just to like go back and watch and reminisce, is like, sometimes when I want to kill someone, I'll show up on their doorstep and I'll have jack-o'-lantern. I'll ring the doorbell, but when they answer the door, I won't be there. A jack-o'-lantern with a knife inside of its head.
Deep Thoughts with Jack Hansen.
Deep Thoughts. Jack Hansen. Yeah. Yeah. So when I first got him, man, that's when I first started my channel. Was when I first got Crixus. So that was about 6 years ago. He's about 6 years old now. He's a big boy now, man. He's nothing but 100%.
What's his name?
Crixus. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Spartacus before.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's where that's from. Okay.
Yep. I took the name. I was gonna name him Gannicus, but my wife was like, no, the name's too long. We got to name him little. So I decided to go with Crixus because he was my favorite. So that's his name. And it's shooting too, because he's a big old Staffordshire Terrier, solid muscle. He's just a big old baby, man. He really is. He really is a good boy, man. He's a good dog.
Cool.
I love it, man. Crixus, where you at?
Did you get some flying in today, Dave? I know you said you were going to do some flights, man. What'd you fly today?
I was gonna go and try out the new DX9, but I didn't get around to it, man. I woke up this morning. I finished the PAC-FA after that little put in the bushes that we had. I finished fixing that. The cable snapped, so I put some nice cables on those retracts now with the coating on them. They actually have like a coating on there. So I replaced both retracts with brand new cables, real nice cables, and crimped ends. What else did I do to that thing? I got rid of the thrust vectoring on the back of it and just glued the nozzles directly to the back of the plane.
Okay.
I didn't want the thrust vectoring. And then that was it. That's all that one needed. That's all I had to do with that one. And then I ran some tests on it to make sure that it was blowing. I'm having one ESC still. One engine's blowing out more air than the other. And I'm gonna open up the hatch and see if maybe one of the EDFs is a little further away from the wall or not. Because I cut the red wire to one of the ESCs. I'm making sure that only one ESC is signaling the receiver to power up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know why one fan unit. They're brand new fans in ESCs. So I'm thinking that maybe one of the fans is slightly away from the wall and it's blowing air through a gap.
Okay.
I'm not getting all the air, so I'm gonna look in there, and then I'm probably gonna seal that off with some tape, kind of like what I did with the Yak 130 there with that JP fan that I put in there, that 8S JP fan. I actually had to put some tape around the back so that way, no air was the fan was going out the back completely and not blowing through any cracks.
Are those the stock fans, or did you change them out? You put
I changed them out to the 2210 kV in-runners that Motion just came out with, the 70 mils.
Yeah, that's a good idea because those stock fans are,
Well, I saw them and I was like, those definitely not going to plane.
They're a little archaic, yeah.
And I got two Hobby Wing 80 amp ESCs in there.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
Rich, what are your thoughts on the new MiG-29 from Motion RC, man?
Yeah, man, it is sweet. I think it's cool as heck. It's big. It's probably designed to compete with the HSD stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's as big, if not bigger, but a lot less expensive. So, and I love MiG-29s. I've been flying that. The Arrows Hobby MiG-29, the smaller one, and man,
what a great fly! Yeah, I've seen that one fly a bunch. That's nice.
That thing's out of this world. I mean, I have always loved MiG-29s. I've always thought it was just an awesome, but just a configuration very similar to an F-14. Sukhoi, just not the swing wing, but that plane in particular, man, it's awesome. And again, the Arrows is just out of this world. I mean, it flies like a bigger plane. All the videos I've done. There's no flight stabilizer in it at all. I'm manually flying it, and it flies great. I mean, it doesn't have. You don't need any of that stuff. It'll be interesting. The free wing one. It's massive. I noticed a lot of people have been kind of backtracking a little bit. When they first saw it, they were blown away. And there's people that'll always want a big airplane. But I've heard people are like, as they're thinking about it, like, man, that thing is just huge. You got to put 2 batteries in it. The cost is awesome. The price, what is it, $640 or something? So
$639.
It's the paint job for me is a double-edged sword, though. I think it's outstanding. The digital camo, the cat on the tail, it's totally out of this world. However, it's dark. It's like,
gonna blend in good, yeah.
It's dark and gloomy, and when Patrick turned and went by those trees, it was like it was gone. I mean, and I mean, I don't know, people. I mean, a lot of guys, like when they see a plane like this, or they see Blue Angels, or they see the Thunderbirds, they're like, man, I just want that plane to be gray. I want the gray, circle. Yeah. And I'm like, man, they paint it gray so you can't see it.
Right.
That's the purpose of having it a dark and dismal color, so the other guy can't see you and shoot you down. So when you have a really dark color like that, it's kind of like, that's, again, I love the paint job. It's killer. They spend a lot of time, but it's just it's kind of gloomy. That's the only downside to it. But man, I'd love to be all over that. I mean, I don't know. I'll think about it, but it's a nice.
I don't know if you're thinking about it, Rich. I think it's in your back pocket already, but you gotta have one, man.
See, here's the other thing too. I have found that with the HSD airplanes I love flying them when I fly them. It's just that it's a lot more to pull that out to the field, stick the wings on it, and then, carefully put 2 batteries in it, get them in the right place. It's so much easier for me. Even the Tomcat is that way. It has 2 batteries. It's generally, as much as I love flying it, it's generally not my go-to jet because it's just, I fly it on special occasions. I take it to Joe Knoll, Top Gun, that kind of stuff. But I'd rather just throw 1 battery in.
Right.
It's just like a lot easier and a lot, But again, there's a market for it. People are going to be buying that thing like crazy. If I'm kind of, does anybody know? Have they sold out on it yet? The pre-order yet, or?
I haven't checked. I don't know.
I don't think so. Let me check real quick. Actually,
but I love it, man. That plane's out of this world. I love to fly it around, man. It's a cool model.
It's gonna be a blast, man. I can't wait. I'm definitely gonna grab one. I mean, it makes it. I kind of. That's gonna be a must-have for me.
Yeah. I would love to grab one.
It's cool. It'll be interesting to see it'll be interesting to see how.
No, it's still pre-ordered. They're not sold out yet, but
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it like, for example, the F-14 came out, which we all love this thing, but it needed some stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can see what you're
F-18,
saying.
the F-18 came out, and I was blown away. I was like, man, that's sweet. I've always wanted a 90 mil F-18,
Yeah.
But then it had some tail issues. A lot of people complained about it. But again, you resolve those. They fixed those issues and stuff. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see how this one, if it comes out of the chute without really any major. I mean, even Horizon has had a couple issues with some of their stuff, but lately, stuff like their F-16, this thing, generally they don't have any issues. It's always nice to get some. I'm working on a Dynam airplane right now, and I probably don't need to say any more. Dynam is they're good airplanes. The beauty is they're inexpensive. They're cheap as heck. But it's a fixer-upper opportunity when you get it. You know what I mean? It's not like a house you can move into. You know what I mean? You've got to fix them. You've got to do some things to it. So, but for the most part, I mean, Motion RC stuff is so light years beyond a lot of the stuff out there. But we'll kind of see what the take is on it. But yeah, no, man. I mean, I just wish they had just put like a different, like a camo paint job that had some contrast.
Right.
Arctic camo.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly something, just because there's so many MiG-29 paint jobs out there, and as much as I love that digital camo,
And don't make me start painting right.
It's something that's very different compared to what we've seen. I mean, but I can definitely see that. To me, the E-flite F4, because it's mostly gray, like from the side, right?
Yeah.
On a cloudy day, luckily I had safe program because I had went up and done like a reverse cube and some other stuff and lost orientation, and luckily I had safe, flipped it, and I was inverted.
Which was that? Which plane was that?
That was the E-flite F4.
Well,
it's got gray, it's got white, it's got red, it's got black. The underside is white. I mean, it has a contrast to it.
It breaks up in the sky a little bit. You can see it really good.
But you're right.
F4, when it turns just right, that free wing, it cloaks, man. It disappears on you.
Yeah, those camouflage paint jobs can get you, man. They can really get you.
Yeah. So
especially in a tree line, like what Rich was saying, on a summer or spring, whatever day where you got green in the trees, you take that free wing F4. If you're not careful, man, she'll cloak on you in a heartbeat.
Yeah. But to cap up the Motion RC plane, I mean, that thing's awesome. I mean, you can't. I mean, for 640, the size that plane is, twin 80. The landing gear looks awesome. I mean, it's
gear doors, got gear doors, and it's got in runners.
Yeah. Well, it's like kind of like George Watts. I mean, he makes a good point that the F-22 is all gray and the A-10 is all gray. But to Jeff, Mary Boozer says, I don't like
even those airplanes. They're great flying airplanes. There's no doubt about it. It's just that any airplane, an F-18, an F-14, anything that has a lot of gray to it, it's tougher to see, especially when it's an overcast day or when you fly it by a tree or something. But that digital camo on that thing, and it's a dark. It really seems to be. I don't know. Maybe it's the pictures. I don't know. I guess I'll have to see it in the daylight. See how it is.
So, Rich, you said you were working on a Dynam plane there. I actually just took the Dynam Gloucester Meteor.
Okay.
And took the 4S power system out of it.
Yeah.
And put those same free wing in runners in it as well. 285 amp Mantis ESCs. Threw it on 6S.
Right.
I'm telling you, free wing, all Metal Gear free wing servos all around. Pulled out all the Dynam ones. Put all nice Metal Gear free wing servos in all around. I'm telling you right now, Rich, that makes that plane it's a screamer, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, 4-cell is a little anemic for that thing.
It cooked my battery. It took my battery and blew it up to something the size of a 6S.
Yeah.
It destroyed it.
Yeah, that's because you gotta run it probably almost full to get it to fly, I would imagine. Yeah.
You do. You really do. I mean, it does glide pretty well for being on a light 4S system. But I mean, it's so sluggish. I mean, I did a before and after. I did a video flying it on 4S, destroyed a brand new Admiral Pro battery, and then I took it and flew it on 6S, and it's night and day. Night and day. Beautiful plane on 6S. Right.
So hey, are you gonna have a MiG giveaway, Dave?
Well, I mean, so as far as right now, as far as right now goes, we're at like $600 right now for the next giveaway.
Yeah.
We could split that up into $200-$300 giveaways. I always let the stream vote, or we could do one giveaway. And I'm telling you right now, we could do that MiG 29. We could theoretically. We're only $40 away from that, man.
Yeah.
And I'm in the next round, so watch out.
Yeah.
Now your number didn't come up at all in testing. Will come up 3 times tomorrow. This next giveaway.
Jeff is already planning the unboxing from.
Yes.
He's tooling right now.
Mother, it's going to be unboxed. You hear me? It's coming. So,
Look,
You
he's going to
ordered
say
mine.
that, but look how many planes he's got behind him that have not been.
hey, but look here,
they have not seen
Skippy.
the
At
light
least
of day.
At least I'm flying, Skippy. Okay, don't give me no shit.
What are you talking
Okay?
about?
Jeff,
What
if
are
you're
you
not
talking
taking
about?
that Sukhoi, you haven't taken your Su-30 out of the box yet.
Or the
Man, no,
or the A10 or the Airliner.
Wait, you still got all? Are those still in the
They're
box?
all in the
Yeah.
box. Yes, Rich. They're
Oh,
still all
man.
in the box.
I haven't had time,
We
man.
need to have
Look,
an intervention.
hey,
Look, let's be real.
Rich,
This ain't about an F-14.
You're
F-14
busy.
now.
You know
This
you're
is an
buying
intervention.
planes too fast.
Yeah.
Look, we
Rich,
need-
you done told us you're busy too, man. I get it, dude. I get
What's
it.
that?
I said you've already said you got stuff in the boxes you got to get to, so you're busy too.
I've got like 2 in the box, but I've got like 6 that are out of the box that are like on the bench being worked on.
Yeah.
Dang. Look,
That's right.
this is turning into an intervention. Jeff,
Yes.
Jeff,
you need
Jeff.
Jesus. You need
My
Jesus.
name's Jeff. I have a
You need
problem.
Jesus, son.
Yeah, that's right.
Jesus, Jeff.
He's just hoarding boxed up airplanes.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, well,
In case
Well,
there's a
hell, if I
shortage,
keep
right?
winning them from Dave, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
I know. When you got F-14, 3 F-14s to unbox, I mean, that kind of puts you behind schedule.
GB goes. They'll be those planes will be discontinued by the time you get them out.
Yeah, that's the thing is, by the time you, a lot of times that's what happens. Like something new comes out, and you're like, man, I still got that in the box, and then you try and sell it, and you can't get anything for it because it's so old.
Yeah.
So then it becomes like a glow airplane, you know?
Yeah.
What's that?
What's that? What's
Yeah. Hey, speaking of glow airplane, if you guys could see Dave's friend's arm,
Hold on. Let me pull up the picture.
where his
Oh,
arm
Lord.
he stuck his arm into a prop of a glow plane, guys, and across his wrist.
He panicked.
So what happened was his glow plane. He started it with his electric starter and or his little hand starter thing there that you connect to the battery. And what happened was it sometimes when you use those, the plane can actually start backwards.
Yeah.
Low engine can actually start backwards, and what happened is it started shooting off the table backwards, and he reached for it. And here I'm gonna show you the picture, you guys.
Yeah. Wait till you see this. This is
So it started backwards, and he was reaching for it, going away. Oh shit!
So instead of like throwing a rag in the prop or something, he actually reached over to try to grab the back of the wing, and the prop was a little bigger than he thought.
obviously.
Yeah.
That's bad. Bad news.
Yeah.
We had a guy. We had a guy do some tuning on a diesel injection pump. So the older diesels, all he had to do is like add fuel, and they'll keep running. There's no like electronics with it, right?
Oh, you got it? Oh man.
Yeah,
That's
that's
his
his wrist.
That's his wrist.
Oh,
That's
man.
the top of his wrist, all the way from one side to the other. Hold on, let me shut this light off.
Wait,
Yeah. So guys, always be
Hold on, one
aware.
second. Let me shut this light off, you guys.
Yeah.
There we go.
Always be aware, guys, because that could have been. That's terrible. That's bad enough as it is.
Is he? I mean, did he? I mean, is it mostly like a flesh thing, or did he get some?
He cut arteries. He slashed a couple tendons. He has no feeling except for the outside of his thumb and the outside of his pointer finger. So he's got feeling here, and he's got a little feeling here, but the rest of everything is all numb.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's actually, you guys, he's actually the one that that gave me this Spectrum radio, you guys. Well, not gave it to me, but sold it to me.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, well, hopefully you get.
Super nice guy, man. He's like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. His name's Frank Napolitano. Frank's just a little dangerous, man. I mean, yesterday, the day before yesterday, we decided to all fly P-51s. Tony couldn't get his P-51 running, and Frank had a nitro one, and then I had my E-Flight P-51 out there, the new one, and I'm sitting there flying my plane, and I hear a nitro getting closer and closer and closer.
Right.
And I shit you not, that thing came 3 feet in front of the fences, and I jumped back like this as I'm still trying to guide my plane. Frank's like, "Sorry, man, got a little close there."
Yeah.
I felt the wind coming off the prop. That's how close it was.
Yeah.
Tony's like, "Look, Frank's at it again."
Damn.
But
yeah,
we had a guy. Anyway, he had made some adjustments on the injection pump, started the engine, and the engine started to run away, which means if you let it go on, the motor is just going to blow up. So what does he do? He grabs a his rag impulse thing to do, and throws it in the turbo. And what does the turbo do? Just eats it and like spits it back at him. Like doesn't do nothing. So what you have to do at that point is you have to get something flat, like a piece of board or something, and like put it over the intake of the turbochargers to basically choke the engine out.
Yeah, choke.
And luckily that motor, it was a 8.9 liter engine, and it's supposed to rev to like $3,000, and it ended up revving up to like 4,700. Luckily, no damage. So they're like, that's a first.
Yeah, no. Good God, that was luck. Jeez.
Jeff, I'm so glad you got an F-14 now, man.
Hey, man, me too. Now, if I can,
welcome to the club.
Now, if I can just get all my mods from a guy, and
what are you talking about? They've been done.
What's his name again? I can't remember his name yet.
They're in the
still have
mail.
to get a hold of him too.
Yeah.
No, me and Dustin already talked. He's waiting on a couple of things to come in, and probably around.
Ready. I got the kits ready. It's just when people order them, I just box them up and ship them out. It was taking forever to get the screws, and that was the thing that was holding me up. And it was frankly pissing me off because I ordered these screws like
everything.
Yeah, like the thing about it is there is a difference between a wood screw and a plastic screw, between like the threads, the dimensions of a thread.
Yeah.
If you put a wood screw into a plastic, it actually can cut it and make it brittle. So that's why they have threads for plastic.
Right.
And to do it right, someone do it right, and typically it takes like the next day. But I don't know. I keep getting mixed answers when I ask and like push like for an answer. Like, why is this taking 3 days? Or excuse me, why is this taking 3 weeks? You guys, and it was just heartache. So I just bought 500 of them. So now it's one less thing to worry about. Let it just sit there. They'll eventually get used up. I have other projects that I can use them as well too.
What were these? The metric ones or which ones?
These are like the screws that look like the wood screws.
The self-tapping ones for the gear.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're threaded
But
for
they're
plastic.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep.
So I got.
Well, good. It's cool for me because I've seen many pictures posted, where guys have actually put these in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of
cool.
neat to see somebody else's airplane,
Yeah.
with something that we made. It's kind of cool to see
we've
that out there.
We've got some sets in Australia, some sets in the UK, and some F-18 battery trays in Australia.
Right.
UK or England.
Yeah.
F-14 kit in Switzerland. I believe it was Switzerland, and one in it's another European country, and I'm going to butcher it.
Yeah.
I want to say Slovakia, but that ain't it.
Yeah, Jerry McGee, the president down there at why am I not thinking of the club I was just at, Imperial RC. He saw my video and he just immediately, I guess, grabbed his bandsaw. He cut one. He made one. So he's like, yeah, man. He goes, I just whipped one out real quick, made it. I was like, okay, great. So it's cool to see people doing that too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some guys just don't have the tools though. They don't have the
Right,
so,
or they just don't. They're just busy. They just rather have something that's ready just to go in, which I totally get.
Yeah,
That's
that's
either
true.
way.
Yeah, because I'm busy.
David, David, yeah.
Yeah, I'm busy.
It's
Oh man.
it's all good. I tell you what, I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be back, guys.
All right,
Awesome,
brother.
buddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too, man. I'm grabbing something to eat. For
Yeah. Yeah, I need something, man. I'll be back.
So so you packing it all back up there, Jeff?
Oh, I mean, the funny thing is, look, it's a damn challenge. You know, it's one thing to unbox a plane. It's another thing to get it back in here the way it came out, okay?
That is an engineering feat. Look, people talk about, oh, it takes so long to design a plane, this, and that. No, look at the packaging aspect of it, because there is just as much engineering that goes into I dare to say go into a plane as it does logistics from the cost standpoint, ship of cost, ship of goods,
Yes, sir.
consumer cost of goods.
Yes, sir. And I mean, and then trying to figure out how to get it all back in here so you're not dinging up anything or you're not divoting anything. It's a damn job, man. I mean, and you know, if you don't take pictures just about of how it came out, well, good luck with that. Just saying.
Look,
You
you
know?
might as well go ahead and put one little ding in an inconspicuous spot because you know you're going to get some type of ding, right?
Exactly. That's
Just
right.
go ahead and put it like in one of the wheel wells.
All right. I'm trying to figure out, you know, I want to start getting it put together and everything. It's definitely, I want to start getting it done.
Yeah, so the first thing, if it was me, the first thing I would do is put the nose cone on, or not the nose cone, but the front part of the fuse, and like stand it up on top of the.
Yeah.
Just stand it up
I
that
saw
way.
your video doing that. Yeah, I saw your video doing that as well. And leaving it standing up for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do that, but I want to get the battery tray in it first. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I got to get that guy I know to get that battery tray to me so I can get that done.
Oh, man, I'm gonna have to watch that Twitch video.
Oh yeah,
Later,
Dustin.
James.
When I order that F-14 kit too, I'm gonna get that battery tray for the F-18 too.
Okay, sweet. George, watch. Twitch is like a YouTube channel, in a sense.
Yeah, in a sense.
Dennis Farley goes, Jeff, leave it out of the box. That's how you fly them.
No kidding, man. But I got to work in here too and do other stuff too.
You know what? What you should do is you need to have a rifle for that SU-30 because you talked all about having it. You wanted it so bad. You couldn't wait to fly it. Just have a rifle for it and just only put one person in there, and that'd be me.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Oh, check that out. Look, I have a wheel with just your name on it.
Let's spin the wheel. Who's going to win? I don't know.
Yeah, is that wheel, Dustin? Damn right.
Oh, heck yeah.
I would get smacked off in. Yeah.
I still think we should get Tara to make some of those stickers for the airliner. I think that'd be cool, especially for Journal.
Yeah, definitely. That would be sweet, wouldn't it? Yeah, I got to get that thing ready to go, man. That's a must-have. Definitely got to get it ready. Damn, this part is heavy. God knows.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you really want to wake it up, put your two innards from that T-33 in there. That will waken the hell out of that thing up.
Yeah, I'm sure, no doubt. Yeah. See, I don't even know that's how that goes in there. I don't think it is, but hey.
James, can you send me a link to the Discord? Because I'm actually on there with a few other like machinist groups on there. I would love to have tied in with Alpha. I'm still waiting for Alpha. He invited me over to the machining department. I'm still waiting for my for him to tell me a date. I'll just hit a ride with Rich next time if he goes over to China. Just ride the
Hey,
the hot seat.
wait a minute. There's no such thing as a reboxing video. What the hell?
I've done one. I had to. So check this out. I did one for
It's
Call it out.
It's hard enough to figure out how to get the damn thing back in the box, you know?
I gotta get something to drink. It's out of the box.
Putting
I
it
come
together,
back,
Jeff.
and it's back in the box again.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to rewind this and watch it again.
hey, right. Exactly.
Oh, that is too damn funny.
I'm telling you, hey, just trying to figure out how these guys figure these boxes out blows my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Actually, the box itself is pretty pretty complex.
It is. I mean, because I got everything in there now with the damn nose cone. It's like, okay, so where does this go? You know? Like, damn.
Hey, are we gonna unbox it again like next month or something?
Yeah, probably so. No, like I said,
I'd be putting the
I'm
nose
waiting on
the
God.
nose section
Well,
on.
make sure you do an unbox video on the F-14, Jeff, on the channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I'm waiting
man.
on my parts to get here, and I don't want it just sitting around everywhere collecting dust out here.
Dustin, hey Dustin, I think Jeff's waiting on his parts.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's waiting on the wheels, the servos.
You're right, and yes, you are
Everything,
right.
Everything.
Yes.
So Dustin, how do I pay you for that? Do I just PayPal you
Yeah,
or
just PayPal.
You can send it to me, Dave. Just send it to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There's a thought.
And then also,
In care of.
so Kenny, wow, why did I say think Kenny?
Well,
Bobby, Pilot Ryan's right-hand man, he's got a set of these that he's put in his, because his F-14 went down at Jet Jam. Had like a brown.
I got a good video of that. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, a few people, planes went down in that general like area. And that's
Kept
something
going
I've
down.
always been kind of curious about. What, you never know why a particular reason why jets. Or
It was really weird that they kept all going down right at that south corner of that runway though.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the west, the east corner of it.
They're cylinders. So to you, the user, on the Fulcrum, on the F-22,
So are you all guys coming to Imperial in November?
Me and
We're
Jeff
talking
keeps
about it.
talking about it. We keep talking about it. I guess
I'm
we gotta.
trying to go to as many events as I can this year. I'm going to the Boozer event, just because I know a lot of you guys are going to be down there, and I don't know if they're still going to have Null in the Fall, but if they do, I'm going to Null in the Fall as well.
No, that's canceled.
No, the fall's been canceled, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I'm still going. I'll be at Triple Tree all
You'll be
by
the only one
myself.
out there.
Hey, man, hey, look, we can just show up and have a whole private place to ourselves.
I'll have that place all to myself. Yeah.
Dave, because you're in Maine, right?
I'm in Maine. It took me 19 hours to get to Jet Jams in Indiana.
Holy crap, man! That reminds. Like I left. I went to go pick up a car once. It was the only car east of
Trust me,
Mississippi.
there was a few times where I was going to turn around and go back home, but Dave Marshall kept calling me. So
And,
he kept just keep going, man. Well, shit, you're almost in Pennsylvania, Dave. Just keep going, man. You're about halfway there now. When I wasn't nearly halfway there, but I was
Right.
halfway there to Dave every time.
Yeah,
Shit,
so-
you're almost halfway there, man. Just keep going.
I was picking up a Mitsubishi Evo X, and it was blue. Had the options that I wanted. It was the only one east of the Mississippi, right? And anyhow, I called one of my girlfriends and said, "Hey, you like road trips? You want to go to a road trip with me? This car's in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, so it's 9.5 hours each way. We leave at 2 a.m. We're busting like up through Virginia, get to the mountains, and like everybody's doing like 85. I'm like, these are my type of people. So anyway, get there and back in like 20 hours. I mean, we went there, picked the car, and like drove back. Well, on the way up there, we get to Charleston, West Virginia, and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of getting somewhat tired. Can you drive? She's like, well, I would, but I can't drive a manual. My car I got is a manual. The car I'm picking up is a manual. So that's when I started drinking Starbucks and coffee.
That's scary.
Mostly
Oh,
coffee. Black coffee. That's when I started to like acquire a taste to it because it kept me awake.
No. Yep.
You got two cars with
Keep that cold air rushing in your face at all times too.
Oh man,
Yep.
I've been so tired. Well, I'll roll the window down and be nice, icy and cold, and like kind of like stick your head like kind of outward,
Stick your head out. Yes.
or
yes.
cut the heat and like blast it. So I'm driving, and like I'm sweating, right? Because I'm like I can't stop. Like I've got like 10 miles to go or like 20 miles to go, and it's like those last 20 miles seem like it's like 3 hours.
Yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
an eternity. It does. Yeah, it really does.
On it. Yeah, but hopefully we'll go. We got I think. Do you still have that reservation, Jeff? For that like
Yeah,
RV, or will we like take your truck?
What are you talking about?
For Boozer's deal.
Oh, I mean, like I said, I got a friend of mine that's got a motorhome that I've talked to, and that's what I would try to do if I was going to do something is drive a motorhome down there.
Gotcha.
I think we might rent one. I think, yeah, me and my wife might rent one. I'm trying to get her to take her vacation then. That way we can go to the event, and then we can spend some time in Florida. Like, I can go fishing. Yeah, so we'll make a vacation out of it, really.
So, Deuces has a question for Rich Baker.
Okay.
And Mary Boozer says, Deuces Wild, the answer is yes. I am the best pilot Rich has ever met. Would you concur to that statement?
Who said that?
Wesley.
Wesley Boozer.
No, you know who's the best is Gavin down there. Did you guys see the video? I put up a video just a couple hours ago. Gavin Street, the guy flying the kid I flew the F-16 with.
I just saw that right before we all got together.
I just put it up. So if you guys haven't seen that, put that, watch it and then pass that around to everybody. Because he and I flew those jets together. It was fun, man. We had a good time. He really throws that thing around. It's pretty cool to watch.
Let me get a link.
Yeah, seeing how Wes won't say it, I'll say it. You're the best pilot in the world, man.
Who? Wesley? Wesley is?
Yeah, Wesley's the best. Yeah.
Typical politician.
He was looking for you to concur on that one, Rich.
I love my F-16. The biggest problem I've got with it is, if you need a part or anything for it, you can't get anything. My front retract is acting a little silly. It works, but I wanted to just get an extra backup.
Right.
And you can't find it anywhere. And then if you can, Horizon Hobby, you got to buy the whole thing. It's $50. I'm like, really?
Okay.
I mean, and then if you can find the servo at like Tower Hobbies, it's only like $18, but good luck getting it because everywhere you look for it is out of stock. So I'm like, well, damn. So, that's expensive nose wheel, $50 for a plane that's only, $275 on sale.
Is that the F-16 you're saying?
Yeah, the E-Flight.
The biggest problem we're having right now in this hobby is getting stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The fastest way to get something here is by boat.
Yeah.
Even if you mail something, something that used to cost $200 before the pandemic now costs $600 to mail it. So like for example, that MiG that Motion has, I think that probably cost them. I was talking to Alpha about it. I think it was about $1,100.
Uh-oh.
Did I lose him?
Uh-oh.
He's frozen in time.
He's striking a post.
That's why a lot of these places, they're not giving out a lot of samples. They're waiting for things to come on containers.
Yeah.
So and some of the factories like FMS, it costs a fortune to send something direct now. So one item, and that's why everybody's having trouble. So everybody's waiting for containers to get here, and then it's less expensive, to ship them out to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this thing. Hey man, November 2nd, it'll all be over.
I hope. Yeah.
We can all hope.
The virus just mysteriously disappears all by itself.
We don't need to have that whole discussion again, but that will be over with November 2nd. It's just.
Oh man, I just got this link a friend sent me. A guy took the Hobby King C-130 and then put the A-10 motors on it. I guess to try to make like a Globemaster. He's just taxiing around right now, but it's pretty freaking wild. I think he's got just the 64 millimeter, maybe. I don't know. I'm not too sure on it. But that's a plane I wish E-Flight or Flightline would do. Would be either a C-130 or do the Globemaster.
Huh.
Yeah, I like the C-130 myself. It is sweet.
Oh, so Deuces is Rich. Have you experienced radio glitches while EDFs on hot or temp days? If so, is it like a low voltage thing, or is it like a DEC thing?
You know, I haven't really had too many radio glitches that I know were radio glitches. You know, I've had probably in the last couple years maybe 2 or 3 like kind of unknowns that I speculate maybe were a brownout, but I don't think it could have been something else, you know. So, in fact, the only time I've ever really remember having like a radio glitch or brownout or something is if I'm flying with a receiver that has only one antenna. You know, like there's cheaper like park flyer antennas, you know, receivers that have just one antenna sticking out instead of 2. So, but no, I don't really have too many radio glitches to know. You know what I mean? Or not that I perceive to be a radio glitch anyway. You know.
Right.
Usually it's me running into something at high speed if I'm doing something.
Oh, it gets obliterated.
Like last weekend, you know. So, no, I just don't have a lot of radio problems. I know I've had a lot of people tell me. Well, not a lot, but I've had a fair amount of people ask me about Spectrum. Oh, don't get Spectrum. Get Futaba Spectrum. We got brownouts all the time. I'm like, man, I've been flying my DX9 and my DX7 on everything, and I don't have.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have any problems. And sometimes, you know, like I'll have people come up to me at air shows and events, and they're like, hey, man, can you help me with my plane? I'm trying to get it going. Yeah, come on over. I open up the canopy. I look in there, and it's like a jumble of wires, and the antennas are all kind of intertwined. It's like I see a problem now, you know, right away.
Right.
You got to separate them and put them, you know, 90 degrees to each other somewhere in there, and just tape them. You don't have anything fancy, just Scotch tape, but just separate. And it just seems like so many times I see a lot of planes where there's just receivers thrown in and antennas are jumbled and wrapped around, and it's like, and so I almost think I don't know for sure, but I think sometimes the glitches come from that kind of thing, but I don't know. I'm not blaming the users on anything, but still, I see a lot of jumbled antennas in airplanes, and I'm like, well, so I always have mine like that somewhere in there, and I mean, I don't have any glitches, you know. So I've seen a bad receiver here or there where I'm plugging something in and my light is flickering. And I'm like, oh, it's a good thing I saw that now. You know, I don't know what it is. I pull the receiver out of there. I wiggle I'll wiggle the satellite receiver wires, and the light's flickering on and off. I'm like, okay, well, something's wrong there. I pull out. But now I haven't had that many. I just haven't had enough of them or you know, what I perceive to be a glitch or a brown, you know, whatever to know, you know. So I just don't have it often. In fact, I'll make a comment. You know, when you buy radio equipment. I hate to say it this way, but always buy a new one.
Yeah.
I don't really buy used radio equipment from anybody. In fact, I'll buy one from, like, there's a few people I know who really take care of their equipment, and if they said, hey, Rich, I'm selling this, there's certain people I'd feel comfortable buying it from, but if I go to like a flea market or swap meet, and someone's like, hey, I'm selling this, I won't buy a radio like that. Because I just don't know how many times it's, you know, rolled down a stairs case or, you know, or whatever. So I just buy all my radio equipment new, you know. So
smart man. I do as well.
Yep. Every one of my radios were purchased all brand new.
Yeah. It's But anyway.
All right, look, guys. Well, let's
Let's wrap it up. Yeah, we've been here almost 10.
Yeah, it's about that time, man.
Wow, 2 hours.
Time to go snuggle.
All right.
Oh,
Jeff's got his plane back in the box.
Oh yeah. Hey, tune in. Hey guys, appreciate you guys watching. Tune in next week. We're gonna do an unboxing of F-14, Jeff's F-14. We're gonna do it again next weekend.
That's right. And the week after that, until we get all the parts and pieces done. Stay with us. The series continues.
It's like watching NASCAR. Ooh, what's next? Another left-hand turn.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's
another left turn.
How many times can we all see the same plane fly?
We're going to go 500 miles, but we're going to keep chasing our tails.
That's the same way I fly. Another left turn.
Hey, it's like I said, how many times can we all see the same plane fly, but we like it? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what matters. You know?
Yeah. Awesome, guys.
All right, well, look, guys, hey, I think everybody, for coming tonight, hanging out with us. We had a great time, and we're going to be doing more with these F-14s. And yes, we will be taking it out of the box again when we start adding parts and putting in on the mods. Maybe get Dave, Rich, to see what's should be. Sure, I'm going to be watching the videos and see if
You're cutting it.
You're cutting out. You're cutting
a
out.
little bit.
Yeah, you're
Now
cutting
you're gonna
out,
have to say that all over again.
Oh man, dang.
Yeah.
But no, seriously. Like I said, we will be showing more of these and showing all you guys how we're doing things and watching Rich's videos on how to do this and get it done. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, and you guys can follow along because we'll be keeping you up to date on it on my channel or Dustin's channel or whatever we're doing. We'll be showing you. And guys, right here, thanks to Mr. Dave's RC for giving
You're
me
welcome,
this
Jeff.
awesome
Anytime, buddy.
plane. I appreciate you, Dave. You guys tune in for Dave's giveaways. He's gosh, I don't even know how much he's giving away on the channel, guys, but he's done a fantastic job, and I appreciate it, man. And the next giveaway will be coming up soon. And
2 weeks. And I'm not going to yell out the total price of all the giveaways that I've done on the channel because my wife's right there.
Smart man. Smart man.
No, but she really is happy that the channel is actually making money now, and you know, we can absorb some of the cost a little bit and kind of make the giveaways a lot better than they have been. Also follow along on my channel, guys. I'll also be doing the mods to my F-14, so this will be a pretty cool month, man, once we get these mods going on the F-14. And then I promise once the mods are done, man, we're going to get out and we're going to fly this thing again. I ain't scared of it no more. I'm not scared of it.
I ain't
I ain't
scared.
scared. I ain't never
I ain't
been
scared
scared.
of it.
Look, guys, Mr. Rich Baker is almost at 20,000. If you haven't checked out his channel, he's killing it. He's putting stuff on Instagram every day, guys, Twitter, Facebook. Check him out, like and subscribe, get him there. Like I said, he's really close to 20,000, and just an awesome person. And we thank you so much for giving us your time again.
And we are, appreciate it. And we are probably gonna, when we hit 20,000, we're probably gonna have some big Dave-like surprises. So
Yeah, Rich, there you go, man.
so get everybody to subscribe, because the sooner we get to that number, people are gonna. I'm gonna have some stuff. So
That's right.
it's gonna be a big deal. So.
And make sure you guys
Yes,
turn
sir.
on that notification for Mr. Rich Baker and for the rest of us channels. And make
Yeah.
sure you guys go in
Hit
there,
that bell.
hit that bell, turn on that notification. That way you know every time one of us are uploading something.
That's right. Yep. That's right.
Amen.
All right, fellas.
Well, all right, fellas. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in again. And next week we'll have it on my channel. And if you have any questions, leave a comment, and one of us will get back to it. As always, subscribe to Rich and Dave's channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys next week.
And check out Mr. Raven Rock's mods for your F-14, guys.
Yeah.
Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Later,
See
Rich.
y'all.
Have a good night, man.
You guys, see you, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Jeff,
Good night.
Dustin.